everybody, Debbie Starr here. I thought you might enjoy following along as I'm making a few edits to one of the funnel pages that I'm building for my own business. And, you could spend hours updating things, but I'm just wanting to play around with the buttons. So if you're new to funnel building and you use my favorite program called All-in-One, Gohighlevel All-in-One software, follow along with me and I'll just show you what I'm doing. If you are not using an all-in-one package and you want to try this out, I have a free trial. I'll put the link below. But let's get going. So let me just move my head down here a little bit. I am inside of the builder. I have other videos that you can watch on how to get started. But the section that I'm working on, I have like 3 different types of services that I offer. I do coaching. I also white label this wonderful program, this all-in-one marketing program. I also build out funnels and web pages for people. And then I have lots of templates. So if you're an online business owner, instead of recreating everything, just snag some of these templates and you're off to the races running. But as I'm looking at this, I thought, I just don't like it because the buttons aren't lining up. Each one is a different size. So let me just show you how easily you can just modify things. And depending on when you're watching this video, Gohighlevel or High Level, they're constantly updating things, but they've added a few new features, which I'm really excited about. So I've just clicked on the button. Let me see if I can make this just a little bigger so that you don't have to strain so much. So I've clicked on the button. That's the element. And when I've clicked on that, over here to the right side are all of the ways that you can modify and adjust this button. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and also let me mention, you have the general tab, the animations, which is new, and then the advanced tab. So I'm in the advanced tab and I'm going to run through this twice just so you can see it. The first time I'll kind of slow down a little bit so you can see. So the first thing that I want to do is I want all my buttons to be the same size. All right. So I'm going to click on that. And then here where it says full width, instead of flood, I'm going to say fill the width. And it's going to fill the width of that column, which I'll show you in just a minute. All right. And then I also want just to add a border, just to add just a little bit of a pop. So I'm going to scroll down where it says no border. I'm going to change it to full. There's all kinds of options that you can change it to. You can change the width and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to just keep it simple for the sake of teaching you here. And then the border color, I'm going to contrast it with my super light pink. Okay. And I think, let me see, is there any other changes? Again, lots of changes you could make here. I think that's good. All right. So let me just repeat it. And so now you can, there's one other thing that I want to change. So I'm going to click back on that, go to advanced. I was thinking there was one more. Let me go down. And then where it says border radius, it's 0. So that means it's a square button. You can change this. So if I change it to 5, it just curves it just a little bit on all of the angles. I'm going to actually change it to 50. And so that gives me the rounded button. It's a preference thing. Some people say round is out, square is in, back and forth. Who cares? Just whatever you like. All right. So those are the changes that I've done. So let me just do it one more time. And now you can see what that button looks like with that, little border around it and all that kind of stuff. And let me just tell you this, we could spend hours, right? We get in here, we play, we make adjustments, all that kind of stuff. I want you to focus on those money-making activities. So let's just give it a good first pass. The biggest thing I did not like about these buttons is they were not lining up, and I just wasn't digging the square. So those are the changes I'm going to make. All right. So I'm going to go to the second one, and I'm going to do it again so you can watch me. So I'm going to click on Advanced. And then I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and work myself down. So full width instead of fluid, I'm going to say fill the width. Okay. Then I'm going to scroll down a little more. I'm going to select, instead of no border, a full border. And I'm going to change the color. All right. And then I'm going to scroll down to where it says border radius. And I'm going to go down to 50. And there you go. Looks pretty good. Hey, another quick tip: save early, save often. That's my motto. And then hit that publish different times, because glitches happen all the time and we don't want to lose our work. All right. I'm going to just quickly go back and change this third one here, because you're going to see I'm going to do one more thing here to this. So I'm just gonna quickly go through, make all those changes. So obviously, if you make these decisions ahead of time, you don't have to go back and redo everything, right? But sometimes you have to see the finished product and then think, oh, I don't know if I like this or not. Now, a couple other things as I'm looking. Let me just zoom out a little bit so we can see the big picture. I like to kind of zoom out, so I've got that 10,000 foot view here. So as I'm looking, those buttons are kind of hanging close to the edge. So visually, I don't like that, because over here, because I've centered this, there's a lot of what I call white space, and there's not so much here. So there's a few things that you can do to kind of straighten things up. This is a 3 column. So I've got the buttons, I've got just a little like pointer, so to speak, and then I've got my first column there. So you can hover over these little purple dots and it will shrink and adjust back and forth. Now, as of this moment in time, there's not like a little ruler indicator so that I could get it just right. So sometimes I don't like to do that, because visually I want to make sure everything's lined up. It's just up to you. If you want to live on the wild side, you can do that. I'm not going to change it for right now. I'm just going to show you those options. Over here, one easy thing that you can do is, if I hover over, notice it's the purple, that's the column indicator. I'm going to click that. And so then over here to the right, I get my column indicator. So let me just make this a little bigger again, so you don't have to get your bifocals out. So I've got the purple selected. And then over here on the padding, I'm going to say, let's try 40. I think that looks pretty good. And let me just zoom out again so that you can see the result. Okay, so that's given it a little more breathing room here. So that's looking better. I will probably, just for the fun, let me just adjust these a hair. And then this, let's see, can I adjust this a dab? I think so. And, you just kind of play with it. Now, you'll notice that this is still kind of hanging over there closer than to this. So I could click on this, and again, I could look at my padding here. I'm just going to make the padding maybe 10 or 20. Actually, I'm going to try the outside padding. Let's see if that adjusts it a little bit. Anyway, you just keep adjusting until things look good. I don't know. I may go back and grab a different kind of image here. Basically, I'm just training the eye to go over there. All right, one more thing, because I'm supposed to stay focused on buttons here. I'm just giving you a quick preview of the buttons. So I'm going to click one of my buttons, and I'm going to show you one more thing. So let me go back to my view and zoom in a little bit. Okay, so over here on the right, again, this is a fairly new feature. You now have automated animations. So if you're used to like PowerPoint and some of those presentation softwares, it's the same theory. In other words, when somebody hits that page, what kind of entrance animation do you want? So I could have the button float up. I'm going to tell you though, because I have so many buttons, that's probably not going to be the best thing. I'm just going to clear that. I don't want it. But I could, if I just had like one button, I definitely would use some kind of an entrance animation there. Okay, I could have things bouncing. You know, you can just play around with it and take what you want. I could have it flip, rotate, zoom in, lightning. You could get it to infinitely rock, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then if I click on the hover animation, now this is one thing that I do want to set. What does that mean? When I click on it, I could have it wobble, or I could have it elevate, lift up, and that's what I want. So because I have so many buttons, I'm not really doing anything with the animations, but I do want that elevate when I click on it. So I'm going to click on the second button, go to my animations, come down here to my hover, and I'm going to elevate. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Click on the button, animations, hover, elevate. And then I'm going to save, and then I'm going to publish, do that often. And then if I click the very top here, the little eyeball, that's our little preview. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I had added some animations to this. One thing to think about is when you are adding some of these extra things, did you notice how the screen was kind of black for a minute? I think I'm going to take those animations off, because that could mess up your SEO. Because let's face it, if people have to wait more than 1 second, they're out of there. So just keep in mind, don't go too crazy when you're adding the animations. So now here is that first row that I was setting up, and now notice as I hover over each one, it just hovers it up just a little bit. So what do you think? Here are the enhancements I made to this one compared to this. So just like when you go to the eye doctor, is number 1 better or number 2? Which one do you like? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. All right. As always, thanks for watching. If you catch this on YouTube, hey, be sure to hit the subscribe button, because I am trying to grow my channel. All right. Thanks again. See you in the next one.